This is the solution video to Unit 1 review problem number 18. Find all values of c so that f is continuous for all real values of x. All right, so first of all, we need to think c is some constant, it's unspecified, but if I had c squared x, that's just a line, right? That's just a line with a slope of c squared, right? So that's going to be continuous everywhere that x is less than 2, right? And then 5cx minus 12, once again, c is a constant, so that's also going to be a line, right, with a slope of 5c and a y-intercept of negative 12. And so that's going to be continuous everywhere that x is greater than 2, right? You know that lines are continuous, right, because they don't have any jumps, asymptotes, holes, anything like that, right? But all right, now we need to make sure that it is continuous at x equals 2. And so we're going to evaluate f of 2, right, and make sure that that's equal to the limit as x approaches 2. All right, what is f of 2? So that means in the top piece, we're going to plug 2 in for x. So that means we have c squared times 2, right? Or in other words, you'd say 2c squared, right? So now that needs to be equal to, remember, f of 2 must equal the limit as x approaches 2 of f of x in order to be continuous. And so now we need to evaluate the limit as x approaches 2. But remember, we've got this part on the left of 2, this part on the right of 2, and so that means we need to do a left-hand limit and then a right-hand limit. So limit as x approaches 2 from the left, well, that would be plugging 2 into the top piece once again. So that would be 2c squared, right? And then the limit as x approaches 2 from the right of f of x. So now we're going to plug x equals 2 into the bottom piece. So if x is 2, that means 5c times 2 minus 12, or 10c minus 12. So now, if the limit from the left and the limit from the right are equal, right? So 2c squared equals 10c minus 12, then that means that the limit exists, right? And now since f of 2 is 2c squared, obviously, if 2c squared equals 2c squared, which equals 10c minus 12, then f of 2 would equal the limit as x approaches 2. So now we just have this equation to solve. So I'm going to get it all on one side to solve this quadratic. So I'm going to subtract 10c and add 12. All right, set it equal to 0. And so now this is just some good old-fashioned algebra, right? So I'm going to factor out a 2, c squared minus 5c plus 6 equals 0. And so now I need to factor if possible. All right, so this factors into what? So you got a c and a c here. All right, so how am I going to multiply to get 6 and add to get negative 5, right? So this is a c minus 2, c minus 3. Does that work? Yes, because negative 2 and negative 3 multiply to be positive 6, and then they add up to be negative 5. So that means that c equals 2 and 3.